If you want to retire, how much XRP do you need? I am going to outline the thousands of hours of cryptocurrency research that I have done over the course of the past several years in order to provide you with a good sense of how much XRP you will need in order to retire from your 9-to-5 job and retire. This is in response to the numerous times that I have been asked this question. We will also discuss a variety of investing strategies that you may implement in order to maximize the amount of XRP that you receive for your money. These techniques have the potential to bring in millions of dollars, but they also have the potential to bring in only a few $1,000s. How attentively you listen and how effectively you apply all that we discuss will determine the outcome. Understanding the significance of tails is of the utmost importance in the corporate world. This is the first and most significant step. It is likely that those who have been around for a considerable amount of time are familiar with corporations such as Tesla, Google, Amazon, and others. Each and every one of these businesses is also active in sectors of the economy that are expanding at a rapid pace on a daily basis. In addition, these businesses are always adjusting to changing circumstances and gaining knowledge about the sector in order to ensure that they will be able to generate profits in emerging and rapidly expanding fields in the future. As a result of this one factor alone, it is anticipated that XRP will do far better than the majority of other cryptocurrency offerings. It is clear that the Ripple team that is in charge of the XRPL is in the process of launching a variety of various businesses. While working on the CBDC initiative, they are also developing decentralized finance systems and experimenting with stablecoins. Collaborate with the financial sector on the issue of international payments, which collectively constitute a market that is worth many trillions of dollars. As the industry evolves and new technologies are introduced, the Ripple team is constantly prepared to incorporate new technologies into the goods and services that XRP provides on its platform. These technologies include artificial intelligence AI, game-based experiences, and a great deal of other innovations. It should come as no surprise that the most lucrative of all of these is the tokenization of actual items. Furthermore, as you would have predicted, XRP is also engaging in that activity. It is imperative that you pay attention to what I am about to say, since it is connected to this extremely significant matter. At this point, however, I would want to discuss a few particular ways in which you might invest XRP in order to acquire an estimate of how much money you will require for retirement. Consequently, when it comes to retiring, there are a few essential guidelines and objectives that you ought to work toward achieving. It is recommended that individuals save between 1 and 1.5 times their annual salary by the time they reach the age of 35. It is expected that by the time they reach the age of 50, they will have saved 3 to 6 times their annual wage. Your retirement fund should be between 6 and 11 times the amount of money you make each year by the time you reach the age of 60. In addition to that, I am aware that everyone who is viewing this video happens to be in a different location and has extremely varied annual expenses. Nevertheless, the first thing I want each of you to do is to tally up all of the money that you spend on a regular basis. After you have determined what it is, simply multiply that number by 12. Using that number, you should be able to determine how much money you ought to have saved by the time you reach the age of 60. Multiply that amount by 11 at this point. Right now, with the fact that you are coming close to that age but have not yet reached that stage is not a cause for concern. What I am about to demonstrate to you will allow you to arrive at your destination far more quickly than the typical individual would be able to. To retire in 60 years, I will need to have a monthly income of approximately $1,386,000 based on my own expenses. Also, this number could appear to be incredibly challenging at first, but in reality it is a lot simpler to get in touch with than you initially imagined. It is my opinion that in 35 years I will not require this amount of money in order to be content and comfortable in retirement. I am going to engage in the opposite activity that I just did in order to arrive at this point, in order to calculate the amount of XRP that I need to save and spend on a daily basis. This is the result that I receive when I divide it by 35 years and then by 35 years and then by 365 days in a year. On a daily basis, I ought to be putting down approximately $108. That being said, I am able to say that my regular charges will most likely be far greater than those of the majority of guys. As a result, my expenses have understandably increased quite a little. If you want to achieve your objective, you won't need to save much more than $30 per day, just like I did. Specifically, this is due to the fact that my monthly expenses are about 3 times more than those of the typical person. If you have previously paid your mortgage and a number of other obligations on a monthly basis, this is also a consideration. If that is the case, then you are already a significant step ahead of everyone else. That was before I reached the most exciting part of the story. The money that we are putting away right now will most likely prove to be worth a great deal more in the years to come. However, I would like to demonstrate to you all how fantastic the movie that is currently playing is. In order to demonstrate my thesis in its entirety, I will demonstrate my dollar cost averaging calculator to you. It will demonstrate to you how much all of my investments will increase in value over the following 35 years if they accrue an annual return of 8%. To see what results you get from using this DCA tool, which I will leave below for you to use, enter your own numbers into the appropriate fields. My calculations will begin with a fund consisting of 1 year's worth of cash, which is equivalent to approximately $108 every day. This will serve as my starting point. All of this comes to approximately $39,057 in total. I will be investing $3,253 per month for the next 35 years with an annual profit of 8%. Let's have a look at the amount of money I will be investing. With this, I will be able to earn $39,000. Nearly $8 million is going to be the initial sum that I will use. In addition, allow me to clarify, but this is only the case if XRP is able to increase by an average of 8% each year. Would there be a significant increase in the price of XRP, say by 10 to 20% annually? This person will blow your mind beyond all comprehension. Take a look at this. A return of 12% per year on the same quantities that I gave you earlier will turn your investment into more than $20 million in 35 years if you keep the same amount of money. In addition to this, you are able to transform this little sum of money into hundreds of millions of dollars with a return of 20% per year. If you do not have as much money to spend each month as I do, you need not be concerned about it. You are still capable of accomplishing these absolutely absurd objectives, even if you only have half as much as I do at the moment, or even just a fourth of what I have. In light of this, if you believe that the value of XRP can increase by 10 to 20% annually over the next 30 years, you will need to manage a very large portfolio. It is not a cause for concern if you have less time to commit to anything once you have been doing things like this for 5 to 10 years. This amount has the potential to develop into a significant amount. Over the course of just 6 years, you could make $543,000 from this, and over the course of 10 years, you could make $1.36 million. I am aware that for many of you who are watching, that will allow you to retire with more than enough money. The amount of money to invest each month is approximately $3,000. Even if you only have half of that, it is not acceptable. A lot of time is available to you. By cooperating with one another, we will be able to complete this task and stop utilizing XRP. If you want to retire, how much XRP do you need to have? It is dependent on the circumstances you are in as well as the amount of money you really spend. I have provided you with all of the resources that you require in order to figure it out on your own in this video. I have faith that you will be able to make the connections and find out what's going on. It has been said that if you teach a man how to fish, he will never again experience hunger in his life. There is a need for all of you to go fishing. For those of you who have remained with me to the very end, I also have something that I think is pretty cool to share with you. As I've mentioned before, I've devoted a significant amount of effort to gaining knowledge about cryptocurrency.